Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, some of you in the comments occasionally get quite annoyed if there's uncertainty about the rules or the markings in the puzzle. Well, don't try this puzzle because there's deliberate uncertainty about the markings. And I think it's a lovely idea, actually. This is a fog puzzle, very deliberately, by, well, I don't know, is this Page Do, Pagedo? I don't know how to pronounce the name. But it's a lovely idea where X's and greater than signs in this puzzle are designed to be uncertain. I'll go through the rules in a minute. Don't forget that on Patreon we bring you Sudoku hunts every month, and they are very well worth your time. Great fun to be had from the 1st to the 20th as a competition, and subsequent to that, just as something that you could do. That's on Patreon. We have also, of course, we also have gridogram and connections videos and some crossword videos too, with some difficult cryptic crosswords especially. Obviously on the main channel we do cryptic crossword masterclasses on a Friday. We stream on Mondays. We do 2 videos a day. On Sudoku, we do Wordle in a minute cryptic, bring you loads of puzzle content. And if that's not enough, we have a bunch of apps, including Fog of War Sudoku, which is absolutely brilliant and features a lot of fog puzzles. And the worms, they're good too. So check those out. There's merch as well, all on the links in the description field. But the first of those links will take you to Foggy greater than 10's negative by, let's say, Pagedo. And normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. The X and the greater than sign have been deliberately set to be exactly the same when partially covered by fog. So we can see an X here, I think, and greater than signs potentially. Like the sign between these two cells must be a greater than sign because it doesn't become an X there. That's how I think we can determine some things. Now, in a cell with greater than signs, you must obey them all. So the number in this cell, 5, must be larger than those two. And assuming this is not an X, it must be larger than that one as well. Digits in cells joined by an X sum to 10. All possible X's are given. And obviously, well, not obviously, but this is dynamic fog, so it may clear when we get digits correct, or it may not. Right, give it a try on that first link under the video. See how you do. You can check the video link to see how I did, but I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, let's... Wow, where do I start? With the 5? Yeah, okay. The digits north and south of the 5, they have to be lower. Actually, 5 obviously can't, this can't be an X because this digit would be another 5. So it must be a greater than sign. And this digit is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, the 3 here could connect to a 7, although not in this cell where we see there's no X. So it must be greater than either 1 or 2, or on an X with a 7. The 6... Oh, I've only just thought. This is definitely an X and not 2 greater than signs, because the idea that this was 2 greater than signs is absolutely nonsensical, because cell A here would be greater than B, but cell B would be greater than A if you were trying to obey 2 greater than signs. That's quite amusing, actually. Right, anyway, 6 here connects either to 4 or a number lower than 4. Well, it is a number lower than 4. But we've had a 3 in this column. And look, that is now a 1, 2, 4, 7 quad in the column. So one of these has to be a 7. In fact, one of these has to be a 4. And there will be an X because all X's are given. If one of those has to be a 4, this one in the same box can't be. The much more important thing is that 5, 8, and 9 are impossible in these cells. So they're up here. This is definitely, I mean, I thought that was going to give me something. It doesn't really give me anything at all. Oh, it gives me, there's a 5 in one of these cells. I can't rule it out of there because this could just be higher. No, it doesn't give me much else. But let's keep on pencil marking things. Right, these digits are 1, 2, 3, or 6 if it's an X. This is clearly higher than 4 or that. That doesn't really narrow down its prospects. This is also higher than 4. I don't know. There's quite a few greater than signs going on here, but they don't really lead to much. We know 7 is in one of these cells. So the 7 in the middle column has to be in one of these two cells now. We know there's a 4 in one of those two cells by Sudoku. It doesn't really do enough. How do we get going on this? 7 is greater than this digit. 6 is greater than this one. But then that is greater than this. This one is greater than its 4 surrounds. But I mean, it could still be as little. Oh no, maybe not, because they could be X's. It is a complicating factor. I mean, as we expected. Now this digit is bigger than both of its north and south surrounds. Or maybe I should be using the negative constraint better. Yeah, that can't be a 3 because there would be an X, and the one on the other side of the 7 can't be a 3. The 6 can't be touching a 4. Now we've got a 1, 2, 4 triple in the central box. Everything else in the central box is 3, 8, or 9. Neither of these are a 3 because that 7 would have an X going either north or south. And we can see that half of that X is not there. So this digit is 3. There's our first digit in the puzzle. That did clear fog. So that was a worthwhile deduction. Now, this can't be 3. Okay, let's look at the cleared fog, maybe. We've got an X here, so this isn't a 5. This is 7, 8, or 9 to go with 1, 2, or 3 there. The X's might be the most powerful things available in this puzzle if we can just find out where they all are. This digit is greater than 4. But it's also greater. This digit is greater than this one, which is greater than all of these 3. So at a minimum, these are 1, 2, 3. This is a minimum 4, but it can't be 4, 6, or 7. So this is either 5 or 8, so that this cell can be bigger. And this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. If that's an 8, this is a 9. If it's a 5, though, these are all from 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we would have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad in the middle row. We'd have 5, 7, and this would have to be 9 and 8. 9, no, this would be 9 and this would be 8. Certainly that is possible. So I can't rule out that this is 5. It would be lovely to do so. This is a definite X. That's quite hard to get my head around. This is bigger than 4, and indeed bigger than all, more maybe bigger than all the cells it touches. It might not be bigger than that one. It's such a funny rule. I like it a lot, actually. It is confusing me as I look at something like that, and as I contemplate that all of these that go into the fog could be X's, and it really changes the dynamic a bit. Right, 8 and 9 were there, and they're here. So 8 and 9 have to be in these cells, these 3 cells. Oh, you see, I was going to go, look, there's an effective thermo with this one being bigger than this one being bigger than this one, but that could be an X. All we know is that 8 and 9 are in this group. Now, that digit is bigger than this, definitely. So this isn't 9 in the middle. And yet this is bigger, well, it's certainly bigger than that, but it might be on an X with one of those. For this to be a 9, this would have to be an X with a 1, 8 there. That would be a 2. That would be 4. Then we'd have 6, 7 at the top. These digits would be 1, 2, 3, and these would be 4, 5, 6. 9. Oh, hang on. Did I say for this to be 9? Did I say this would have to be 1? Yes, I did. For this to be 9, this would have to be 1, but it's got to be bigger than that cell. This can't be 9. It can't be smaller than this, and it can't make this a 1. So 9 is not available there. 9's not available here because of this connection. So 9 must be in this cell. Now, I was now going to say that these are 8 and 1. Can this be 8? No, because that would be, it would be an X, and that would be 2, and that's not higher than 3. So we found 8 as well. Clear some fog. No, it wouldn't. Now, these are either smaller than 8 or 2, which is in itself smaller than 8. 9, 8, 3. One of these is a 7. Everything else here is 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6, including this. I don't know. Oh, that can't be 6. We've had fog cleared there. This is greater than 4, and it's not 8. Once we get down to 4 candidates in a cell, I feel able to put it in. If this was a 5, these couldn't be, that would be impossible for this to be a 5. These would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's no X possibility with a 5. And if they were 1, 2, 3, 4, that cell would be broken. So this is not 5. If this was 6, that couldn't be 6 anymore. Oh, there would be an X as well. So it's not 6. This digit is 7 or 9. If it was 7, where do 8 and 9 go in the box? They'd have to go in these positions. That's quite interesting. I don't know. I mean, I feel this is very likely to end up being 9, but I don't think I can rule out 7. Although now I'm also, I was going to say, where's 3 in the box? But if that was 7, actually, this one could be 3. So, no, I don't know. Goodness. It's a strange puzzle. I started thinking, oh, 4 and 6 can't go together because they'd have an X, but they might have under the fog here. That's a definite X. If this isn't 6, this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. Ah, that's impossible because of this connection with the greater than sign here. For this to be not 6, this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and this digit couldn't be 1, 2, or 3 and would definitely be higher than this. So that isn't 1, 2, or 3. This is definitely 6, and there is the X that proves it. Okay, well, that is something. It's not something dramatic. It's not something heavy. It is just a bit of information at this point. 6 ends up in one of these cells, as does 4. Again, it feels quite interesting, but they can go together because we can have X's under the fog. This can't be a 6 because there would be an X to this 4. All X's are given. So that, you see, this is interesting. If that was 8, This would have to be 9. This would have to be 7. This would have to be 3. We'd have 8, 9, 7, 3. The 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. The 5 would be in one of these cells. 8, 9, 7, 3. That would be less than the 3. Oh, 8, 9 there would make a 7 here as well. It would be very powerful for this to be an 8, but it is not impossible. This can't be 4 because there's no possible X here. We've had enough fog cleared. I never noticed that happening. So this must be 4 in the column. There's the X that proves it's right. Well, I suppose the fog clearing might be considered to prove that as well. Now that gives us a 1-2 pair here. Are there any X's that I have to avoid, any negative constraints? I do begin to dimly see the negative constraint is going to be a very important thing, and I haven't really been looking out for it hard enough. Yeah, I mean, here's an instance. This can't be a 1-9 pair because there would be an X. So if that's a 9, this is a 2. Again, on its own, it doesn't do anything, but it's interesting. It's potentially powerful in some way. One of these is a 3. Oh, 4 has to be in one of these two cells by Sudoku and my pencil marking here. 4 has to be in one of those. If it was here, this would be 2 or 3. This would be 1 or 2. These would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. If that was 1 or 2, no, hang on. This would be a 1, 2, 3 triple if this was 4. And that would be 4 or 5 and less than this. Oh, I don't know. It all feels like it's nearly there. Okay, 4's in one of those cells. Where's 5 in this box? Well, it could be here. But we've looked at this before. It's very interesting, I think. If 5 was here, then these are all low. If 5's in that central cell, then these are a 1, 2, 3, 4 set, and that's 9 bigger than 8 here. So 8 in the row is either there or there. This digit can't be 8. It also can't be 7 or 6. So I'm going to say 9, 5, then I'm going to consider 4. This already has to be bigger than these two cells. And it must be bigger than at least one of these because they can't both be X's. Right, this is worth thinking about now. If this was a 5, the whole row break, there's nowhere for 9 in the row. If this is a 5, you can't put 9 in the row. It might be true if it's a 4 as well. I think it is. 9 can't go here because it's not smaller than that. Yes, this must be 9, right. Now, does that do anything is, of course, the problem. Well, it stops all of these cells being a 1 because there'd be an... Oh, well, no, it stops this cell being a 1 because there'd be an X. There might be an X to either of those cells, so they can be a 1. This is now 2, 4, or 5 in this cell. No, I don't know what it means. It's an intriguing puzzle. This is bigger than this. So if that was 8, this is 9. Then that's 7 and that's 3. 8, 9, 7, 3. Then this would have to be 5 and 4, and these would be 1, 2, 6. Oh, none of these can be 9 because they've all got less than signs or greater than signs pointing towards them. So the only place for 9 in row 4 is here. Here come the markings. These are either, well, it doesn't tell us anything. They could be X's, but otherwise they would be less than, greater than signs. So that doesn't tell me anything at all. Can this be 7? This would have to be bigger than this one. I just don't know. I don't know. It is very interesting. I do like this. Right. Actually, this is quite interesting. If this was 5, these would both be smaller, but these would all be smaller than all of these cells. And that just won't work. That is the point. That's been available for ages. I just haven't worked it out. So if this digit was 5, these would both be smaller. They'd be from 4, 3, 2, 1. And these would have to be all smaller than 5. And there just aren't enough numbers. So that's an 8. Now, that means it has to be smaller than this cell. So this is 9. By Sudoku, this is now 7. And by X, this is a 3. Now these are 5 and 4, and we know the order, and this must be 1 or 2. And we've got a 1, 2, 6 triple. This digit can't be 6 because there'd be an X. So this is 6. This is 1 or 2. And we've got the 3 clue as well. Now, 9 there has made this a 7. And now we can definitely ask, where do 8 and 9 go in this box? They can't go here because of the less than clues. This is either a less than or an X. So they must go here and here. Now we ask, where does 3 go in the box? Oh, it could be either of these places because that could be an X. 9 is in one of these 2 cells in row 8. 8 is in one of these 3 in row 7. This can't be 5. This is the only place for 5 in the box. So then this is the only place for 3. Oh, fog clears like anything. Now we've got a 1, 2 pair. 1, 2, 7, 3, 8, 9, and these other cells are from 4, 5, or 6. Now, the negative constraint. Or these 1, 2 pairs, they're quite interesting as well. These are from 4, 5, 8, 9. These are from 6, 7, 8, 9. These are a definite 1, 2, 3 triple. Now, no, the negative constraint isn't really doing anything down here, but this is an X, and that's a 6, 4 pair in this row. That is 1 or 2. We've got an X still up here that we've known about for ages. Now, 4 there is kicking 4 out of this cell. This is 1, 2, or 5. That's a triple. These are 3, 7, 8. How are they going to work? This is higher than the cell below. If this was 3, this is a 1, 2 pair above and below. Oh, this can't be 1 because there'd be an X between those 2. So this is the 1 in the box, and that's going to sort out 2 and 1 there. Now we've got a 1, 7 pair down here. That can't be 1 anymore. This can't be 7 because of the 1, 7 pair. This is greater than the 2 or 4. Not particularly helpful. I thought this 3, 7, 8 triple was going to be better than it's being. I don't know what to do with that. Right. 8, 9 here. Obviously 8 and 2 won't be a pair and 9 and 1 won't be a pair. So one of these says 8, 1 with a 2 up here and 6, 7, 9 at the top. Is that right? That is right. I can do that then, can I? Can I say that it's not this that goes 8, 1? No, if it was here, 8, 1 would go there with a 2 there and 4, 5, 9 at the top. No, I can't. I can't resolve that. Fair enough. Didn't deserve it. Now, this isn't 9, 8 or 7, but it is bigger than the cell on its right. So it's 6, 5, 4 or 3. Can't be 5 because that's a 5, 8, 9 triple. It's 6, 4 or 3. This can't be 4 anymore because this cell would have to be 6 to be bigger, and then there'd be an X between them. So that's a definite 2. Now, these are from 4, 6, 7. This one, do I know any more about it? It's 3, 4 or 6, and this is bigger still. This can't be 2 anymore. Have I obeyed all the greater than signs I can see? Pretty much. That 1, 7 is going to include an X. Yeah, I actually think I have. Now, we have to not have 4, 5 in these cells. We have to not have 3, 5 in either of these pairs. But that aside, don't know. If one of these two was this one can't be a 3 because that would have to be smaller and can't be a 2. That would be a 1 and this would be impossible. So that's not 3. Now, what if this was 3? That would be a 1. That does look distinctly possible. And if this was 3, that would be 2. Oh, 3 and 7 can't go together here. They have to be chaperoned. They'd have an X wherever they were. So they have to be chaperoned by an 8 in the middle. So now this is 3 and 7 on the outside. Oh, that's so clear. So clear when you see it, isn't it? I don't know what to do next. Not clearing the fog at any great rate of knots here. This can't be 8 because there would be a 2, 8x, and we can see enough of that join that we know there isn't one. This can't be a 4, 6 pair. We knew that already because 4 or 6 is down here. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm not knowing exactly where to look next. Nine, 8, 3. This can't be 5. One of these two is definitely 5. This digit can't be 1 from that 1, 7 pair or 5 from the row. This is 2, 4 or 6. I don't think that's going to get anything done. One of these two is definitely 2. Oh, this one is definitely not 2 because there'd be an 8, 2x. This one is also not 2 because there'd be an 8. Well, there could be an 8, 2x here. Oh, no, but we've got a 1, 2 pair. So this is a definite 2. That might clear some fog. It doesn't. It does mean that this digit isn't 8. No help. That didn't do anything then. This, though, is a naked single. It sees this 1, 7 pair, 9, 8, 3, 2 in the box, 6, 4 in the row. That's a 5. And what does that do? This digit is 2, 7 or 8. This one's not allowed to be 8 anymore. 5, 9, 6, 4, 3, 8. This is 1, 2, or 7. Now, 8 and 2 are both in these cells. I was going to say they're not allowed to touch, but they are, because there could be an X under the fog. It was only up here where we could see that there was no X. Wow, this doesn't get easier as you go on. There's a 1 in one of these cells, which can't be here because of the lack of a 1, 9, X. It is tricky, this. Now I've come up with a very interesting question. Where is 1 in this box? It can't be in those cells by Sudoku. It can't be in any cell which is definitely using a greater than sign. So it can't be here or here, or here or here. So I think 1 is either in this cell, which is being pointed at by all sorts, or in this one. I actually thought we were going to get more. We were going to get further. We were going to find the 1. But we didn't do that. Okay, this one can't be 3 or 7 because there's no X to that cell, and it can't be 1 or 2. So it's 4, 5, 6, 8, or 9. If it was 4, both of these would be 3s. What of that? No, that's not giving me anything either. Okay, there's a genuine X here that I haven't really used. If it's 1, 9, it can't work because this digit would be the 1, and that would be greater than other things. If it's 2, 8, that can't work either because this digit would be the 2 and have to be bigger than both of those. So this is either 3, 7 or 4, 6. If it's 4, 6, this digit would perforce be a 7. If this was 4, 6, I don't know. There's other ramifications of that. There'd be a 4, 6 pair in this column, and this digit would be a 5. For this to be a 4, 6 pair, that would be a 7. These would be a 5, 8, 9 triple. This would be 1 or 3, and this would be 2 or 3. I'm not going to allow 1. Okay, this is an interesting point now. If this is 4, 6, this is 7, and the 1, 2, 3 in the row would be in these positions. This digit would have to be 2 or 3 because it's bigger than this, which would be 1 or 2 but can't be 2. So this would definitely be the 1. Then that would be a 3. There's quite a lot going on here. It's difficult though. It's difficult to work it out. Now, I think we're going to come down to this being a 3, 7 pair. What's slightly interesting about that is that this digit would have to be higher than both 3 and 7. So this would be an 8 or a 9, which is in the sort of range I definitely expect it to be in anyway. If this was the small digit, 3 or 4, this would have to be lower. And this can't be 1 or 2. So this can't be 3. That's interesting. If this was 4, this would be 3. We'd have 4, 3, 6, 1 here. I just can't quite make it not work one way and only work the other. Right, this is definitely bigger than this, and this is only 3, 4, or 6 now. This one can only be 1, 3, 4, or 6 by Sudoku, but now it can't be 6. This is 1, 3, or 4. If it was 4, that digit to be higher would be 6. There'd be an X between them. We've had that somewhere else before, but it's happening again. This is 1 or 3 now. If it was 3, this would be a 4, 6 pair. This would be a 7, and there'd be an X between these two. So this digit is a 1, which is a surprise find, but it doesn't really mean anything except that this digit at the top is 3, 4, or 6. And that this is not 1, I suppose, over on the right. Now, for this to be a 4, 6 pair, this is 2 or 3, and this is 1. For this to be a 7, 3 pair, this would be a 7. Yes, okay. For this to be a 4, 6 pair, that's a 7. In this row, that's a 2 or 3, and this is a 1. If it's a 7, 3 pair, we know this is 7 and this is 3. This is 7 and this is 3, and that has to be bigger than this, which again has to be 1. So either way round, this digit becomes a 1. And now we've placed 1 over this side. This is 3, this is 2. The 3, that can't be a greater than sign, so it must be an X to a 7. This can't be 3 anymore, and this is where 3 is in box 2. Now 3 is either here or here in box 1. Is the 7 doing anything? Not really. This digit can't be 8 because there's no X. Same on the other side of the 2. And these two can't be 9. Same reason. 3 is greater than this or on an X. Well, it has to be an X now, given the candidates. So that's 7. And that means this one isn't 7. And now this is 4 or 6, and this can't be a 4, 6 pair. This must be 7 and 3. That's great. Now, 3 is smaller. Oh, that makes this 7 and this 3. That has to be bigger than the cell below, which is 2. This is 5. This digit is higher than 7, so that's 8 or 9. This is smaller than 8 and 7 and greater than 1. It can't be 2 or 3. I'm going to put in the candidates 4, 5, and 6. This can't be 9 for 2 different reasons that don't really solve anything. Oh, this is an interesting connection. That must be a greater than sign, and this is 5. That does some work. 5, 9 comes out of that. Now in this row, this is less than 7, so it's 4, 5, or 6. One of these two is 9. I'm still on the lookout for the negative constraint, which has been a huge deal in this. But I don't know quite what to do with that at this stage. 4, 6 pairs not resolved. One of these is a 6. This is bigger than this 4, 5, or 6, so it's at least 5, and it's not allowed to be 5 or 7. So I'm going to put 6, 8, or 9. The 7 in the column is either here or here. This digit is not a 7 anymore by Sudoku, and nor is this one. This is 1 or 2. Oh, there's a 4, 5, 6 triple in the column. Wow. So everything else is 1, 2, or 3, and this is a naked 2. That's a 1, that's a 3. The 1 fixes 7 and 1. This 3 can't be on a greater than sign, so it must be on an X with 7. There we go. There really is confirmation as you go along in this puzzle. 8 and 2 can be written in row 7. This is now not 8 in the corner. 8, 1, 2, 7, 3. We've got 4, 5, 6, or 9. 5 is in one of those cells. These are from 4, 6, or 9. Now, negative constraint. That must be important. Somewhere. If that was 6, seems to work. In the top row, 9 is in one of these two cells, so this digit in the same box must be 8. That's not 8. 8 in the top row is now in one of those two. This is 4, 6, or 9. I'm still trying to stay on the lookout for possible X's, but a negative constraint, but I think I'm failing a bit now. Failing or fading anyway. 1, 3, 2, 8, 7. This one is obviously 4, 5, 6, or 9. Don't have that many greater than signs pointing into the fog, actually, now. Got a couple here that are being obeyed. Is that it? Are there no other ones? Wow, if that's the case, the negative constraint is going to be really important. Oh, there's an 8, 9 pair in the bottom row, so this can't be 9. There could be a 4, 6 pair here, because I don't know if there's an X under the fog. One of these two digits is definitely a 5. Not interesting. One of these two is a 5. Well, I'm sorry, I don't find this easy to finish off. It is such a peculiar puzzle. It works so differently from the normal ones. These negative constraints on X's, they're huge, and then they're not really helping me. Right, we're nearly there though. We're nearly there. We just need to persevere a little longer. So maybe it's greater than arrows into cells I haven't been considering. So if that was 6, this would be a 5, 4 pair. If that was 6, this would be 4, this would be 5, we'd have 9 here. I can't falsify that. Oh, goodness. There's one single, really blindingly obvious move. There it is. 1, 9 can't be there because there'd be an X. And there is no X, even half under the fog. So that's 8, that's 9. Now, 9 can't touch 1 here, so it touches 2. That's a 1, that's 2, that's whatever this was before. I overwrote it accidentally. That's a 1. Lots of fog clears. We can put in 6 and 8 here. 4, 5, 9. Yeah, that was under the fog. That hasn't been obvious before. 4 and 6. This is now 4 in the row. This is 5 in the row. 6, 9 pair up there, not resolved. But this 4, 6 pair are. So that's a 4. There's no 4 in these cells. Now, this can't be a 6 because it's touching 4s without an X. So that's 9. That gives us 6 and 9 at the top. 5 and 6 here are done by Sudoku. 4 and 6 here finish off the puzzle. And that is the Foggy greater than 10's negative. Solve counter 200. Lovely. It's a great puzzle, Pagado. Well done. And I made heavy weather, I suspect, of that. But negative constraints aren't always that easy. And I've had a good time. That's what I value the most when I'm doing variant Sudoku. So good fun. And we will try again in a while. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.